Cancer compatible with Taurus. Cancer is all about dealing with the feelings and emotions because Jupiter is exalted here, and also Pisces is exalted here. So experiences, meanings, and reasons, and of course, principles is at a higher pace when it comes to the Cancer. See, the Cancer sun is a very strong, powerful sign, very intuitive. Of course, they only deal with the instincts and the way they feel. And of course, they only communicate and interact with the way they deal with their feelings and emotions. Also, Cancer is very powerful, very strong. And of course, they can pick up the energies and the vibes of anyone. And of course, that's the moon. The moon always know who you are. And the moon is who they truly are. Also, so if you don't know your moon sign, it's highly important to know your moon sign. It's highly important to know how you find safety and security and comfortability when you're dealing with your intellect, your interactions of your feelings and emotions in your waters. See, Cancer and Taurus are a sextile, aka, which means they need to act on opportunities to make sure that love, that commitment, and that nurture is basically collided into a box, aka concealment. See, the Cancer is gonna love the fuck out of the Cancer is gonna love the fuck out of the Taurus. It's gonna be a drug. It's gonna be a drug to the Cancer, because the Cancer is highly into the Taurus, and of course, Cancer is exalted in Taurus. So if your zodiac sign is exalted into a zodiac sign, that means 10 times out of 10, you're gonna basically be dealing with some internal internal desires and demons, and of course, that's like you being spoiled. Your moms and your parents is buying you all the cookies and all the cream, all the cookies and cream and all the butter pecan, all the good ass Talento ice creams and shit, and spoiling you and shit. That's how the Cancer is gonna feel, knowing that the Taurus is basically gonna be there for them. Also, this is gonna be a circumstance situation where Taurus is also gonna be in love with Cancer, because Venus is co-ruler of Taurus, and co-ruler, which means Venus is exalted in the planet of Neptune and Jupiter. And of course, we just said Neptune and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So this is going to bring the connection to both of these zodiac signs in general. So it's like they're going to have the connection. They're going to have the package for both of each other. And it's going to be a circumstances situation where they two are going to basically connect. They're going to know each other. And of course, they're going to strive to be in areas and scenarios and places where they can find comfortability, and they could be actually able to be structured and constructed and stabilized wherever they're living at. They're going to also strive for peace, safety, security, and comfortability is key to both of these zodiac signs. And of course, if their safety and security is basically being sabotaged, they're going to feel the need to basically retreat away. These are two zodiac signs that's not going to basically be willing to fight all the time, or fight in general, because everything is going to be calm, cool, and collected with them. And then 10 times out of 10, if they're working at an occupation, that means they're going to come home, sleep all damn day, and relax. And of course, this is going to be a circumstance situation where that's cool, but this can also lead them to being very lazy. It's also lead them to overeating, overweight, and shit like that. So it's going to be a circumstance situation where y'all got to have a little bit more passions. And when it comes to the sex, see, these are both signs that's not going to really be too out there when it comes to sex. Like, the sex life is going to be very great for them, because they're going to be sexing with their feelings and their emotions and their connection. Feel me? See, the Taurus need to smell you when it comes to sex. The Taurus need to feel you when it comes to sex. The Taurus need to sense you when it comes to sex. The Taurus need to take his time. See, the Taurus going to take his time. It's not going to rush. Feel me? So that's, you can, like, passions and motivations when it comes to sex is going to be very, like, slow and stagnated when it comes to their perspective. Also, with the Cancer only have sex with you when it comes to traditional purposes and meanings and reasons. AKA, if they're not getting nothing out of the sex, or nothing out of this perspective where they can basically build a found basis, then they're not going to really waste their time creating an intimacy with you. It's going to be a circumstance situation where the intimacy is going out the window. And of course, you don't want shit going out the window with a Cancer, because if you ain't got a Cancer in your life, you ain't manifesting. AKA, if you ain't got a moon or macabre feelings and emotions, your ass ain't manifesting. AKA, if you ain't got a moon to find the connection with your sun and your actions, you ain't manifesting shit in life. Basically, it's like saying if you ain't got a female in your life, you ain't manifesting. Period. Feel me? Also, all females got Cancer placements. All females got a Cancer sun, Cancer moon, or Cancer fourth house, or Cancer Mars in Cancer, or Venus in Cancer. Feel me? It's gonna be a circumstance situation like that. Feel me? You ain't gonna manifest if you ain't got a Cancer in your life. So this is a circumstance situation where both of these zodiac signs are gonna be in circumstance situations of see where you make the dream work. They're gonna be talking about family, home, love, peaceful environment, nurturing, food, caring. Of course, they're gonna be going very deep into these natures and deep into these vibes in general. Also, these two are gonna work together because Taurus is gonna bring the stability, the practicality, where it's gonna teach the Taurus how to basically do these and basically get into these endeavors. So Cancer is going to teach the Taurus how to be more sensitive and be more emotional and open up a little bit more, aka try not to be too stiff. Feel me? Because you know Earth signs is like dealing with the touchy situation, circumstance situation. Of course, you're going to have Earth there, but Earth can get very dry if it ain't got no water, aka no feelings, no emotions. So basically, put that there. So when shit get too a little rusty, you gotta utilize a little bit of water, clean that shit off, and get that rustiness a little wet. Feel me? It'll be wet around the edges and shit. You don't want to be too wet around the edges. So this is a circumstance situation where these two can benefit each other in that position. When it comes to things that they value, so they're gonna be valuing the same thing because it's not gonna be a circumstance situation where they're gonna be out there and about. They're gonna value their home. They're gonna value being in a peaceful environment. They're gonna value being in places where they can like be at waterfalls, nice, comfortable places where it's like quiet, where like circumstances, situations where they live in the suburbs or somewhere where they can have their house in the mountains. That's what they're gonna really truly value, feel me, and shit like that. They're gonna value safety, security, home, money, possessions, and things that matter. Because of course, without these things, they're gonna stress over these things, and they need to have these things to feel secure in their life. And of course, this could also be a circumstance situation where trust issues is not gonna be an issue for these two zodiac signs. Like it's not gonna be anything where they're gonna have trust blockages unless they have certain placements in their charts that's going to throw them off out of proportion. But this is going to be a circumstance situation where they got to at least give each other a little bit of room and a little bit of space sometimes too, though. Everybody need their space. For me, you can't be on top of each other too damn long. For me, that's like having a sun forever in your perspective and you never ever experience no other seasons, no other weather or temperatures and shit. But when you leave that shit, that's you having space from an environment that you was basically stagnated in. Of course, you're not used to these temperatures in these environments. So you be like, oh, what the fuck is this? Exactly. That's how it'd be a circumstance situation of going through new experiences and learning. Also, when it comes to thinking of communication, these two zodiac signs don't really think and communicate like that. See, Taurus is not going to really talk too much unless they have something to basically have some structure and stability to basically work on or build with or bond with or create or constructorize or work on and basically seeing something that basically being materialized and constructed. Cancer is only going to deal with the communication of feeling things out, feeling the situation out. For me, they're going to feel, they're going to catch the vibe. They're going to be in search for a vibe. And of course, they feelings and emotions can go to the extreme. That's why they pick up everybody's feelings and emotions all around the goddamn world because you got Jupiter and Pisces here, which is Pisces is immutable, aka being able to pick up everybody's vibes. And of course, you got Cardinal, Cancer, aka Cardinal, Water, which is basically being able to actually create new rooms and new spaces and new environments to basically pick that up. And of course, you got the Jupiter there to expand it and it makes it go all around the motherfucking globe. So they're gonna feel and see through that shit. Feel me? So Cancer that's why Cancer is like one of the strongest zodiac signs, which is the opposite of Saturn, which is Capricorn, which is basically bringing structure and foundation to the perspectives. Opposites attract. For me, like Cancer is one here with the water. Capricorn right here with the moon, with the earth. Boom. It's like you're gonna see the perspective from outside and inside. So yeah, these are two zodiac signs that can work out when it comes to Cancer and Taurus. For me, as long as y'all on some spiritual shit, and of course y'all not getting too stagnated and shit. And yeah. Also, they gotta learn how to be a little bit more passionate. For me, go after things, strive after things, have a little bit more determination. Or whatever y'all doing, try not to get too lazy and stagnated and shit. For me, like, just come up with some creativity, some endeavors where y'all can be out there and open and shit. But of course, these are two zodiac signs that are very hardworking. And of course, Cancer is gonna value home, nurturing and caring, being for the kids, and Taurus is gonna value working so damn hard and being constructed and being fixed in their own way. You can't convince or change Taurus. You can't convince or change a Cancer because these are two zodiac signs that hate change unless they doing it in their way. So yeah, don't try to fuck up their change and shit. And these are two signs that's gonna have patience with each other. So that's gonna be even better too because Taurus hate being rushed and doing things by being patient, by other people, places, and things, being patient with them. They're not gonna really truly have no sovereignty with this with that person. Of course, they gotta have shit to talk about with you with that person also. Also, this is gonna be a circumstance situation where these two zodiac signs are gonna be very in love with each other. They're gonna go to the extreme, kissing, loving, nurturing, cuddling, all that shit. This is gonna be in their field in reality. This is gonna be up their alley. So if you're a Cancer or Taurus, that's what you're gonna be experiencing and shit. For me, and it's gonna be very hard for them to break up and shit because they're gonna be so connected. It's gonna be like a love affair that these motherfuckers can never break, or bondage that can never be broken. It's like them trying to cover up the sun and shit. You can't cover up the sun. You can't cover up the moon, motherfuckers. Even no matter how many clouds you put up there, these motherfuckers are gonna still come together and still connect. So connect like connect four, connect the dots. So yeah, these Cancer and the motherfucking Taurus in this motherfucker. But yeah, it's opportunities where y'all can basically work on getting a relationship into this perspective, and of course, trust issues ain't an issue. I mean, everything is gonna be comfortable and cozy. May take the Taurus a little bit of time to open up, which is understandable and understandable to the Cancer. It's gonna take a little bit of time for the Cancer to open up also. They don't just open up like that. So yeah, for me, it's like that's why I'm saying the Taurus is fixed Earth. So fixed Earth means you gotta be fixated. Means you gotta have your own outlook on seeing the things going that perspective. And of course, it's gonna have the exaltation there. So yeah, this is Cancer and Taurus in a nutshell.